into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you. And if your name is Timothy or Pat, as long as you come from Ireland, there's a welcome on the map. If you come from the mountains of Moore or Killarney's lake so blue, we'll sing you a song, we'll make a fuss. Whoever you are, you're one of us. If you're Irish, this is the place for you. Hello, and my name is McNamara. I'm the leader of the band. Although if you a number, we're the finest in the land. And we play at wakes and weddings and at every county ball. And when we play at funerals, we play the march and song. Oh, the drums go bang and the cymbals tang and the horns they play. Your turn. Hennessy, Tennessee, toodle the fruit, the music is something grand. A credit to all Ireland is Mac. Let's hear you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. A credit to all Ireland is McNamara's band. Uncle Julius and from Sweden I'd have come to play in McNamara's band and beat the big bass drum. And when we march along the street, the ladies think I'm grand. They say there's Uncle Julius playing in McNamara's band. Oh, I wear a bunch of shamrocks and a uniform of green. I am the funniest looking Swede that you have ever seen. Well, there's Dennis O'Brien and Sheehan and Mean, and they come from Ireland. But by Yiminy, I'm the only Swede in McNamara's band. Oh, the drums go bang and the cymbals clang and the horns they blaze away. Come on, McCarthy puts the old bassoon and Doyle the pipes to play. And Hennessy, Tennessee, toodle the fruit, the music is something grand. A credit to all Ireland is McNamara's band. La 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 la. What a crowd! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. 'Tis you, must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. And if he comes and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead, as dead I well may be. Please come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear those softy tread above me, and all my grave shall warm a sweeter be, if you will bend and tell me that you love me. Then I shall sleep in peace until you come to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. For all the Irish. Danny boy, thank you. Have we any Germans here? Well, I was in a bar one time, just once. And we were talking about the various marriages in America, you know, the different countries. And somebody said to me that, well, in his opinion, he thought the Irish-German wedding was the best marriage in this country. And of course, I fell for this blarney. I said, why? He said, that's if the children inherit the German brain and the Irish heart. And there is something to that, isn't there? But the other guy spoiled it by saying, yes, but if they get it the other way around, they're in big trouble. So if you're Irish-German, I hope you got the brains and the heart. I'm sure you do. We love to waltz in Ireland, and we love the 3/4. We love to waltz so much, if it's a 4/4, we stick a 3/4 into it. You know, you'd be at the weddings and the band is getting lively and all the young ones are on the dance floor going like, celebrate good times, come on. And you look a little bit over and there's the older people going like, celebrate good times, come on. Does that look familiar? Well, we do the same thing in Ireland, but we love to waltz, and especially to the classic stuff like Johann Strauss. And we're going to forget, of course, the Austro-German genius. We're going to forget that we're here in this lovely theatre, and we're going to pretend we're over in, say, Bavaria. We've just had a beautiful German dinner, and we're swaying to the marvelous music, and we're drinking this wonderful, strong, brown, flavorful beer with the froth on top. What has happened to the froth in this country, I ask you? You get your beer, there's a tiny, tiny little bit of head on it, and then you go back to your table and it's gone. Is that right? There was a guy on his vacation one time in Ireland, and he said to the barman, he says, have you any American beer? And the barman says, I'm sorry, sir, we have just the Irish. Says, that's fine, Steve. Could you give me the closest thing you have to an American beer? And he poured him a glass of water. So, that's another argument in turn. But, thank you. But we would like you now to sing and sway just as if we're in Germany to some lovely Strauss music. Here we go. Dankeschön. Lovely, lovely Viennese waltzing. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. I came to America in 1982, my friends. I visited the rest of the world prior to coming here just for 2 months on a job in Chicago. And when I came here, I had seen all the other countries with their talents and their sciences and their arts and their cultures, which fascinated me. And then I came here, and immediately I noticed the coming together of all those cultures and your ancestors with a great determination to make it better and fairer for them and their children, you. And therefore, that is one of the biggest reasons that I stay and live in this country now, because without a doubt, it's the greatest nation on earth, our country of America. And that applause was for you and your ancestors. I'll tell you more about why I love America later, but I met my wife, Kathleen. She's from New Jersey. I met her down in Cape May, and about 12 years ago, and she's a little French, a little Irish in her, and mind you, we got a little bit of bad news about 2 weeks ago. We just found out that she lost her credit card and somebody's using it. I know, but I didn't cancel though, because he's spending way less than she does. You know the feeling, gentlemen. So, 12 years ago we met, and 11 years ago we got married, and about 9.5 years or so ago we had a little baby boy. In that order, which pleased my mother greatly, I assure you. We called our little guy Ryan. And if you have a Ryan in your family these days, in case you don't know, that's Irish for king. Unfortunately, our guy does. We are merely his servants these days. But my parents were hoping that we'd have a little baby boy, and I was at the birth, and I must say what an incredible high it was to see our own child being born. But I must also say, girls, I'm so glad ye have that part of the business. Because if we had to have babies, and thanks be to God we don't, but if we had, let's be honest, lads, we would have vanished off the planet thousands of years ago. Right, girls? So about a half an hour after Ryan was born, I called Mum and Dad. And as it happened, Dad got on the phone. And when I heard my father saying hello, the whole emotion of the day hit me like a ton of bricks, you know, the cycle of life. And it was just like a heavy movie. I could hardly speak. I got out, it's a boy, and they're both fine. And literally, that's all I could say. But about 2 weeks later, I was heading up to New York for the show. And I pulled over. We were exhausted, hadn't slept for 2 weeks, and needed a coffee, you know. So I decided to enjoy the coffee. And I started writing a little letter to Mum and Dad as to how we were getting on. And completely forgot about it until about, I think it was last year in Ryan's birthday card. Dad sent it back, said we got a great kick out of it at the time. And I now use it as a little intro to the next song, which I think is the greatest lyric I've ever heard as to what it's like to have a child, be it a boy or a girl, in this case, a boy. Dear Mum and Dad, I choked trying to tell you the news on the phone. You have a grandson, 3,000 miles from home. He's 10 days old now and perfect, thank God. We've decided to call him Ryan. They say he's definitely a dun, no doubt, but I still can't believe he's mine. We quickly renamed him Rolex, as he's better than any watch I've ever had. He can time his bottle to the second. Feed me now, or I'll scream like mad. So now we have a king and 2 zombies. We're parents and he's ours for keeps. And while he keeps peeing and pooping and crying, we fantasize about a good night's sleep. It's amazing how much we love him already. And we know these long nights will pass. And when he gives us a smile, all's forgiven, though we know it's probably just gas. And proudly we think he'll be famous someday. We can't wait to bring him home in the plane. In the meantime, we'll enjoy him and try hard not to spoil him as we save up our pennies for Notre Dame. Your loving son, Cahal. Son, you were the seed of life in me, and now I can't believe the man I see. With pride I watch you grow. So much to change the world for me. My son, you gave my simple life its key. Through you I see God's love and mystery. You build up my life with your sweet music. It's written in the song, this melody belongs to you and me, my son. Son, I taught you everything I know. Soon, one day I'll have to let you go. I would gladly die if it saved you from the heartaches, the fears, and all the bad breaks that tear your world apart. My son, you faced the truth and you stood tall. And now we face the hardest truth of all. I must say goodbye, but you must go living. And when my life is through, I'll always be with you, my own beloved son. I watch you now with pride. What more is there to life than you and me, my son? Thank you very much. Thank you. And you know, I honestly believe that if I were still living at home, there's a very, very, very good chance that I might still be a bachelor. You know why? My possessive Irish mother. She sabotaged every poor girl that ever came into our house. If I was going, say, with a dark-haired girl, she'd say, no, Cahal, no, she's too dull. You get tired of her too quickly. And a blonde, oh, she'd buy and sell you, boy. She's too quick for you altogether. She might challenge my mother, you see. And she hated redheads. I don't know why. But I remember one time, about 20 years ago, I was at a dance, dancing away happily, and I saw a girl over there, and she looked the image of my mother. And I said, right. And I brought her home. And my father hated her. Judy. So far, so good. But when Ryan was 4, something very funny happened, actually. He landed a part in the Christmas preschool pageant. Now, he wasn't a cow or a sheep or a donkey. Oh, our fella wouldn't take a part like that. Our fella had to have a speaking part, albeit one word. The word no. That was his favorite word, as you know, when he was 4. And he was the innkeeper, you see. And when Joseph asks, is there any room at the inn? Ryan says, no. Well, that's all right at rehearsal, but when you come out here with all the lights and all the people and the flashing cameras, it's a different story. The show started. Mary and Joseph come out on the backs of 2 unfortunate poor devils. Their part was the donkey. They're stitched together with a bit of, I remember, it's purple material. They look more like Barney than the donkey, you know. And Joseph gets off and he knocks on the door. And our fella comes out and Joseph says, innkeeper, is there any room at the inn? And Ryan says, yes. He blew it. Well, there's panic in the wings, you know, the nuns and the teachers. The show is stuck. Well, Joseph, he was 9. He was very intelligent. He realized he had to step in here because he was a tall man. And he looks at Mary. He says, hey, Mary, let's get out of here. This place stinks. Let's go to the stables. Off they go. And needless to mention, our little guy didn't get a part next year. But something very nice happened the year after. Kathleen was decorating the Christmas tree and she was putting little angels, white little angels on. Ryan, she was keeping occupied, was putting his little few on. And out of the blue, he said, Mummy, can I have an angel for Sarah? And she knew that Sarah was a little Down syndrome child in his preschool class. So she wrapped up the angel and we went to this little concert. And at the end of it, he went over and he gave it to Sarah. And I asked him why. And he said, Dad, he said, the teacher told us that Sarah was special and we must include her in everything we do. And I said, good on the teacher, you know, and good on to Ryan as well. So I went home feeling very proud, to be honest. And I wrote this little song called An Angel for Sarah. I hope you like it. Yesterday my wife made white little angels. A little boy helped her put them on the tree. Funny how sunshine comes in the strangest ways. When he turned to his mommy and he said, can I have an angel from the Christmas tree and give it to Sarah, who's not quite like me? Teacher says she's special and she needs our love. She is happy in her own world, but we must try and make her part of ours. Driving to our folks through the rain and snow, and I complain it's gonna take us hours. But Daddy, if we didn't have the rain sometimes, we would never have such pretty flowers. Can I have an angel from the Christmas tree and give it to Sarah, who's not quite like me? Teacher says she's special and she needs our love. Christmas tree and give it to Sarah, who's not quite like me. Teacher says she's special and she needs our love. She is happy in her own world, but we must try and make her part of ours. And give it to Sarah, who's not quite like me. Thank you very much. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, here's my wife, Kathleen. Come on. And my little guy, Ryan. And here's Sarah. Sarah, how are you? Good to see you. There's Sarah. There's little Sarah. As you can see, this is not rehearsed. But, ladies and gentlemen, Irish step dancing, thanks to River Dance and Lord of the Dance, has broken all the barriers and is now a huge phenomenon worldwide. And we have our own brilliant step dancers for you. Please welcome Celtic Tap. Wow. Wow, wow. Wouldn't you love to be able to do that? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And it's Irish. Mrs. Casey was about 85 or 6 up in a lovely part of Ireland, Mayo, and she was on her own, you know. Her husband had passed on and the kids had gone off to more exciting places, you know, the city, and emigrated, the old Irish story. And she's slowly wandering up the little Boreen to her cottage, and what does she see just before she gets to the little cottage? With behind a cluster of rocks, with his back turned to her, a leprechaun. My, she thought she'd never see a leprechaun. She thought that was just for the tourists. But there he was, about 2 feet tall, with wearing my green tux on him, cobbling on a shoe. And if you can catch a leprechaun, as you probably know, and stare into his eyes for about a minute, he's got to hand over either the pot of gold or grant you 3 wishes. So she crept behind him. And even though now she's high in her 80s, she's still milking the cows and making the hay. And she grabs him, and she stares in his eyes. He says, all right, woman, you have me. He says, what do you want? Well, she says, any chance of a little bit of money?
And suddenly money just poured down from the heavens, thousands and thousands of pounds. So naturally she got a little bit more ambitious. She said, would there be any chance at all that you could make me young and pretty again like I was 60 years ago? And poof, she is gorgeous. And then she sees her cat running by. See that old cat of mine there? His name is Murphy. Any chance at all, she says, you could turn him into a fabulous hunk of an Irishman that would love me. And poof, this Brad Pitt of a fella comes out of this cat. She's amazed. And she says, are you Murphy? And he says, I am. And I bet you're sorry now you had me fixed. Thank you. Thank you. Here's a lovely, lovely song for all of you people that have been married for quite a while. That's what we all want, a good marriage and a long marriage. And this gentleman, he wasn't quite sure how many more years or weeks the good Lord intended him to be on this planet. So, as we say in Ireland, any day above ground is a good one. So he asks her to sit down by the fireplace, and he just, in his own nice little, simple, honest, loving way, tells her how much he has loved her and still does after all these years. And it's not actually about a couple back in Ireland, Mary and Pat. It was coming up to their 20th wedding anniversary. And she says, Pat, she says, I'm going to cook a grand dinner on Sunday. She says, to celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary. Will I kill the chicken? And he says, Mary, he says, for something that happened 20 years ago, why take it out on the chicken? Not about that couple, about another couple. Hope you like it. My darling, come to me, sit you down easily and rest a while near the soft firelight. Cold is the night, but warm is my heart with pride, having you by my side. You're still my guiding light after all these years. Your soft assuring ways, the rock I lean on, saw me through my darkest days when all hope had gone. You're still the only one I'll ever hold near, and I love you after all these years. Time for me passes on, and I'm growing old, a lifetime nearly gone. I cannot unfold, nights stark and cold, but warm is your hand in mine. Feeble with ageless time, the light of love still shines after all these years. Your soft assuring ways, the rock I lean on, saw me through my darkest days when all hope had gone. You're still the only one I'll ever hold near, and I love you after all these years. I still love you after all these years. Thank you very, very much. We have a lottery back in Ireland now, you know. And Pat and Mary are watching the little balls come up the chutes, as we do over here. And she says to him, Pat, she says, if you ever won the lottery, Pat, would you still love me? Of course I would, Mary. I'd miss you, but I'd still love you, though. You know? And about 6 months later, would you leave? Pat won the whole thing, about £3 million, which is about $5 million. Pat was at work. Mary got the call. She was so excited. The cruise, the new house, the new car, leave a little bit of money for the children, all those possibilities. And then, oh dear, she thought about Pat's bad heart. And if she blurted it out in her very hyper way, sure, Pat might get all excited and drop dead, and that would be no good for anybody. So she thought the best person to break the news gently to Pat was Father Casey. He was delighted to come over. Mary was a grand old cook. And after dinner, they were nicely relaxed with the brandy in the drawing room. And he says, Pat, he says, did you hear about the lottery today? I did, Father. Wasn't it an awful lot of money? £3 million? Pat, he says, is Father Casey, just supposing now you won today, he says, £3 million. He says, what would you do with the money, Pat? Father, he says, the first thing I'd do with that money is I'd give you half of it. And Father Casey dropped dead. Here's a lovely song just to compliment after all these years. Ladies and gentlemen, When Your Old Wedding Ring Was New. When your old wedding ring was new, and each dream that I dreamed came true, I remember with pride how we stood side by side. What a beautiful picture you made as my bride, even though silver crowns your hair, I can still see the gold ringlets there. Love's old flame is the same as the day I changed your name. When your old wedding ring was new. Stood side by side. What a beautiful beautiful picture you made as my bride, even though silver crowns your hair, I can still see the gold ringlets there, love's old flame, still the same from the day I changed your name. When you're old, the wedding ring was new. When you're old, wedding ring was new. Harry and Ann were snowbirds. You know, they came down from New York. They were driving down to Florida, as many of you do. And they pulled over for the first time in the first hotel that first night. And they were absolutely exhausted, you know. And they go in, just give me the key, thank you very much. And they got the key, and the following morning, Harry went down to check out. And he got one huge shock, $475. He says, "Sir, I'm sure you've got this wrong. It has to be $47. "Oh, no, sir," he said, the clerk. He says, "This is a 5-star luxury hotel. Everything is included." He said, "I'm sure you tried the lovely jacuzzi." He says, "No, I didn't." He said, "Well, sir, it was here." "And I'm sure you tried the beautiful Olympic-style swimming pool." He says, "No, I just went to sleep." "Well, sir, it was here." And he said, "I'm sure you also tried our beautiful gourmet buffet with the beautiful lobster and the filet mignon." He says, "No, I didn't." "Well, sir, it was here." And Harry got frustrated, took out his checkbook, wrote a check, and threw it at the clerk. "Sir," he says, "come back a second. This is only for $100. "Exactly," says Harry. "I'm going to charge you $375 for sleeping with my wife." "I beg your pardon," said the clerk. "I did not sleep with your wife." And Harry said, "Well, she was here." Well, now. Ladies and gentlemen, where are all the Italians here this evening? Good for you. Oh, great. We have a terrific treat for you, the Italian Americans, ladies and gentlemen. My friend Noel Healy has been conducting the show from the start. He's from Dublin, Ireland. He's been a great friend. He's a tremendous arranger, as you're hearing right now. Wonderful pianist, but he's also, in my humble opinion, a tremendous accordion player. So please welcome, all the way from Dublin, to honor the Italians, Noel Healy. ladies and gentlemen.
Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness stirs and wakes imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses. Slowly, gently, night unfurls its splendor. Grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender. Turn your face away from the garish light of day. Turn your thoughts away from cold, unfeeling light, and listen to the music of the night. Close your eyes and surrender to your darkest dreams. Purge all thoughts of the life you knew before. Close your eyes, let your spirit start to soar. And you live as you've never lived before. Softly, deftly, music shall caress you. Hear it, feel it, secretly possess you. Open up your mind, let your fantasies unwind in this darkness which you know you cannot fight. The darkness of the music of the night. Let your mind start a journey to a strange new world. Purge all thoughts of the life you knew before. Let your soul take you where you long to be. Only then can you belong to me. Floating, falling, sweet intoxication. Touch me, trust me, savor each sensation. Let your dream begin, let your darker side give in to the power of the music that I write. The power of the music of the night. My song take flight. Help me make the music of the night.
Thank you very, very, very much. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, I love this country very, very deeply. But we have a little problem here. The tea. You murder the cup of tea in this country. Don't tell me you don't, because you do. Especially in the diners. And I'm a musician, I'm always in the diners, and I ask for a really hot cup of tea, but what do you get? You get a tiny little silver teapot full of lukewarm water. Half full at that, right? And if you ask the waitress, if you can find her, excuse me, would you mind heating this up? She goes, oh, The body language would kill you. You'd swear you're asking for $1 million. And Kathleen drinks coffee, and she can hardly take a sip of her coffee, but they're around her like seagulls. Coffee? 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 And I'm over here absolutely vanished off the planet altogether. I don't know, is the hot water outside the back door or something? But, and then, you know, if they do bring you another cup of tea, they charge you for it. And then when it comes back, of course, it comes in this tiny little tea bag. Ladies and gentlemen, I am convinced in this country that tea bags are waterproof. They do nothing in my cup of tea. So when something sticks out a mileage like that, of course, what do? You write a little song. Just a little bit of nonsense. I hope you like it. The tea song. Oh, you put a man upon the moon, put color in TV. You gave us Fords and Chevrolets and atomic energy. You gave us Elvis Presley, even Donnie and Marie. But when the heck will you ever learn to make a decent cup of tea? Oh, it is a mighty problem throughout the USA. You make a lovely cup of coffee, but a lousy cup of tea. I've tasted Barry's in Dublin, drank Tetleys in Tropez. I've sipped on Lyons in Africa and Taylor's in Bombay. Drank Rosups down in China, Darjeeling in Paris. But the tea bags in the diners are sacre bleu, oui, oui. Oh, it is a mighty problem throughout the USA. You make a lovely cup of coffee, but a lousy cup of tea. You have super 10-lane freeways, 50 stars in every flag. You have California beauties whose boobies never sag. You have every kind of comfort of which you're proud to brag. But how the heck can you make good tea from a lousy little bag? Oh, it is a mighty problem throughout the USA. You make a lovely cup of coffee, but a lousy cup of tea. So if you like your cup of tea and are fed up with your plight, send back that lukewarm water and demand more Fahrenheit. Make the waitress heat the teapot and loose leaves specify. And if she hands you your bill with an icy chill, just put one in her eye. Oh, it is a mighty problem throughout the USA. You make a lovely cup of coffee, but a lousy cup of tea. Come on, you make a lovely cup of coffee, but a lousy cup of tea. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very, very much. You know, when we were kids, we had great friends, great secrets, great bonds, and we'd almost die for our friends. You know, we'd have this wonderful little inner circle. And my veteran friends tell me the exact same is true in war. And here's a song that combines both of those qualities. It's man's love for his fellow man, and I've never heard it expressed nicer in this beautiful song from the Civil War about two friends, Jack and Joe, inseparable, you know, growing up, and sadly they went off to war on different sides. But have a listen how the song unfolds in its own lovely way. Two little boys. Two little boys had two little toys. Each had a wooden horse. Gaily they played each summer's day, warriors both, of course. One little chap then had a mishap, broke off his horse's head, wept for his toy, then cried with joy when his young playmate said, Did you think I would leave you crying when there's room on my horse for two? Climb up here, Jack, and stop you crying. I can go just as fast with two. When we grow up, we'll both be soldiers, and our horses will not be toys. And I wonder, will we remember when we were two little boys? Long years passed, war came so fast. One wore blue, the other gray. Cannons roared loud, and in the mad crowd, wounded and dying lay. Up goes a shout, a horse dashes out from the ranks so blue. Gallops away to where Joe lay. Then came a voice he knew. Did you think I would leave you dying when there's room on my horse for two? Climb up here, Joe, we'll soon be flying back to the ranks so blue. Do you see, Joe, I'm all a-tremble. Perhaps it's the battle's noise, but I think it's that I remember when we were two little boys. Did you think I would leave you dying when there's room on my horse for two? Climb up here, Joe, we'll soon be flying. I can go just as fast with two. You see, Joe, we're all a-tremble. Perhaps it's the battle's noise, but I think it's that I remember when we were two little boys. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to tell you that a friend of mine, my sister, has flown in directly from Ireland to be with us on this video, and she's a musician, she's a cellist, she's a music teacher in Ireland, and I invited her, said, why don't we play something together, because she's my little sister and we never, ever, ever played together, and I think it's high time we did. So. Her name is Geraldine, and there was 5 in our family, and she is the baby. And she's going to play a lovely piece from the 17th century musician, Cahal. He was highly respected in the classical field in those times, and he was a blind Irish harpist, a bard, as they called him, who went around to all the huge, houses of the old Irish chieftains, the O'Neills and the O'Donnells, and they'd go from house to house and they'd entertain everybody. So please welcome my sister, Geraldine Dunn. Geraldine Dunn, ladies and gentlemen, my sister. And these two lovely people from Akron, Ohio, brother and sister, also Tim and Teresa Seaman. Thank you. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love will ever want to gaze, on the bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, ye take the high road and I'll take the low road. I'll be in Scotland afar. Again on the bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted on yon shady glen, on the steep side of Ballinholm. For in that purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon come and view over Glomond. Oh, ye'll take the high road and I'll take the low road. I'll be in Scotland for ye, for me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny banks of Loch Lomond. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I came out of college after 4 years, and I was a music teacher. My mother was thrilled because at 65, I'd get the pension. I was set for life at 65. She forgot, unfortunately, about the horror of the 40 years before I reached the pension, because I was teaching young little kids, and this is what they did to me 8 hours a day. It was the longest 3 weeks of my life. Thankfully, I wrote this song and it was a hit for me in Ireland. And had I not written this song, truly, I do not know where I'd be today. I doubt very much if I'd be here. The song is called Happy Man. Life had no answers for me, no special meaning or plan. How could I be a happy man? Then just like in a love song, you're here, making each day seem so clear. Now I can smile, I'm a happy man. I'm in love and I'm alive, happy man. Got the sun inside, happy man. I've got a girl on my mind, love in my heart, happy man. I'm in love and I'm alive, happy man. Got the sun inside, happy man. So now the whole world can see I've got all I need, I'm a happy man. And now you say it's happened to you, this love I'm feeling inside. Girl, you've made me. I will share a lifetime with you, making our dreams all come true. Now I can smile, I'm a happy man. Everybody, come on. I'm in love and I'm alive, happy man. Got the sun inside, happy man. I've got a girl on my mind, love in my heart, happy man. Your turn.
I'm in love and I'm alive, happy man. Got the sun inside, happy man.
So now the whole world can see I've got all I need, I'm a happy man. I'm in love and I'm alive, happy man. Got the sun inside, happy man. I've got a girl on my mind, love in my heart, happy man, yeah.
I'm in love and I'm alive, happy man.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Last night as I lay sleeping, I dreamed a dream so fair. I stood in old Jerusalem beside the temple there. I heard the children singing, and ever as they sang, I thought the voice of angels in heaven in answer rang. I thought the voice of angels in heaven in answer rang. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, lift up your gates and sing. earth there seemed to be. I saw the holy city beside the tideless sea. The light of God was on its streets, the gates were opened wide, and all who would might enter, and no one was denied. No need of moon or stars by night, our sun to shine by day. It was the new Jerusalem that would not pass away. It was the new Jerusalem that would not pass away. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, sing, for the night is o'er. Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna forevermore. Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna Thank you very much. Very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You know, one of the cutest little sights in any Irish show anywhere is the little tiny tots with their lovely curls and their ornate traditional Irish costumes on them. And that is exactly what we have for you now. Again, from the O'Hare School of Dancing in Akron, Ohio, please welcome the Tiny Tots. Am I blinding ye? Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, The very profound words, "freedom is not free," is written on the Korean War Memorial up in Washington, D.C., as you probably know. And every veteran here today, from the Second World War to the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, right up to today, knows exactly what those words, "freedom is not free," means. Without you and your sacrifice and successful efforts, we, the world, would not have it as good as we have it today. And I just personally, humbly thank you so much, all the veterans. And would you please, as a small little thank you for all your services, all the veterans and the Merchant Marines, please stand up and take a well-deserved round of applause. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. And won't you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. Everybody. But I know we'll meet again some sunny day. There'll be bluebirds over tomorrow. Just you wait and see. There'll be love and laughter and peace ever after. Tomorrow, when the world is free, the shepherd will tend his sheep, the valley will bloom again, and Jimmy will go to sleep. The white cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see. Underneath the lamplight by the barricade, darling, I remember it's there you used to wait. There where you whispered tenderly that you love me, you'll always be my lily of the lamplight, my only Marlene. Time has come for roll call, time for us to part. Darling, I'll caress you and press you to my heart. There where that lamplight softly gleams, your sweet voice seems to haunt my dreams, my lily of the lamplight, my own Lily Marlene, my lily of the lamplight, my own Lily Marlene. Over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming,
The Yanks are coming, the drums rum-tumming everywhere.
so prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware.
We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't be back till it's over there.
Over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, the drums rum-tumming everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware. We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't be back till it's over there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear for Noel Healy. Thank you. Thank you, Noel. Just as a little encore, I have a lovely song. I was down in Israel in 1979. I had the honor to represent my country, Ireland, in a song festival down there. And while I was down there, I heard this terrific song, Alleluia, written by two Jewish gentlemen. And it's become a huge hit down there, and I think it deserves to be a huge hit over here. So, all the best to you. And as we say in Ireland, may your roof never fall in, and those beneath it never fall out. God bless. Hallelujah, sing a song. Hallelujah, the band will follow along with a single word, a simple word. We bless the sky, the tree and the birds, and sing a song of love. Alleluia, alleluia, sounds of love. Alleluia, with the sunshine above. Alleluia, the bells will be ringing and dinging from dawn to night. Alleluia, it's your turn, everybody. Alleluia, day by day. Alleluia, don't throw it away. Just spread your wings high but fly. Be free again like a butterfly. Come along and sing with us. Alleluia. Sounds of love. Hallelujah. With the sunshine above. Hallelujah. this land. Hallelujah. Let's try from the start and sing it with all our hearts. All right, everybody, one last time, come on. Hallelujah. Yeah. Hallelujah. All over this land. Hallelujah. Let's try from the start and sing it with all our hearts. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let's try from the start and sing it with all our hearts. Thank you, everybody. Oh, God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless America. Thank you.